Deadass, boys. Tell me what fucking country has lower frequencies than this, bro. Hell nah.
Or what does Lord Nardell building do? Alright? Have that conversation. 30 seconds to a minute. Off you go. Chat, chat, chat.
Right, boys, so goofiest shit just happened. I was literally in my second lesson, my last lesson. It was literally like 5 minutes, about to finish the lesson, and then the fire drill, fucking like they decided to do it 5 minutes before the end of the second lesson. And yeah, I mean, that just took up like a whole nother 20 minutes. So now I'm leaving at 12:20 rather than at 12. And that's gonna mess up my whole freaking schedule, but it's kind of whatever. Alright, boys, so I'm literally just walking back home right now in this trenchy ass neighborhood, right? And what do I see? What the fuck do I see? Look at this car. Look at this car. What a beauty. Mr. Man just got in. Oh my fucking days. What a sick car. Holy shit. I fucking need one of those is all that I can say, bro. Mr. Man just coming into the corner shop and dipping straight out. I mean, what the helly? How crazy is that? Dzień dobry.
Znaczy papiery już sobie załatwię, bo to będzie takie na 2 lata. Dowód na 2 lata.
Nie czeki.
Dowód na 2 lata.
Dziękuję bardzo. Do widzenia. Alright, boys, so it's nearing like 7 p.m. and I'll be honest, I got back from school and I just got into the most ruttiest mood of doing absolutely fucking nothing. I was playing Wild Rift, like League of Legends, but the mobile version, for multiple hours. And yeah, I just couldn't get out of that rut. I'm literally not even kidding you, boys, like 3 hours just went by like it was fucking nothing. More than 3 hours. I mean, if it's 7 p.m. right now and I got back home at like 2 p.m. yeah, I mean 5 hours. 5 hours of doing fuck all. In terms of shit that like generally needs to be done, I will do it, which is the loom for the most part today. But yeah, I fucking don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't gone into a rut that bad in a good while now, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's Friday. Woohoo. Definitely some of that has got to do with it, but Oh, I don't know. Also just realised I was like talking so much to my girlfriend, and like this isn't anything against her, but that just completely took me off track of the whole schedule and everything. Like I love talking to my girlfriend, but other shit's obviously more important. The actual needle movers, and I needed to take a break. I needed to leave the house, go out, get some drinks. I haven't had these tin bucks in ages. It's the best fucking fruit drink ever. Doesn't get them apple and mint tin buck. Trust me. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it. If you actually want to know what the best fruit drink is. Anyways, yeah, I'm out here. Out here because I just need to fucking reset. I'm gonna get back home, you know, 7 p.m. I stay up until like 11 p.m. if not midnight, so in theory we have a good amount of time left in the day to slightly turn it around. But I mean, I need to get to David Lloyd's too. David Lloyd's closes at 10 p.m. and record the Loom in the David Lloyd's because that's got the aura kind of background, and I do think it is low-key a pretty big thing. But yeah, I'm out here. Refresh, reset, but self-reflect too. Because in all honesty, I don't think I've been telling you boys enough about kind of the times, not even just my fails, right? But like times when I'm genuinely fully in this random rutty zone. Like I don't tell you guys enough about that. Everyone has it. Very little people want to talk about it, especially if you're kind of posting this kind of entrepreneurial shit, because you believe that you're different and you are different, but you honestly, and I honestly hate myself for getting into this kind of rut still, when I know that there's so much ahead of me, and like how I'm so aware that I'm so different, but I still do that shit, right? One of my worst habits right now, in all honesty. Still getting into ruts and not just stopping it, you know, just letting it happen. Been a lot, boys. A lot of Loom sent out. You know, already hopped on a call. It's all I'm really going to talk about because it's the main thing right now. Getting in the outreach, getting Loom sent out, and hopping on calls. It's literally all it is about now. Literally nothing else. Apart from still building my brand, still documenting. And yeah, it's quite nice to just sit out here in silence. but I mean, yeah, it was super weird, man. I was fucking like on that Wild Rift game for like 4 hours maybe. Legit, and like that's crazy to think about, but yeah, like fucking 4 hours. And then I just like snapped out of it, you know. I did snap out of it, and I was like, bro, what the fuck am I doing? Like, just looking at the time and how much time just like fucking flew by, you know what I mean? Just looking at that and like going like, bro, what am I actually doing? I had so much scheduled for the day, and not work being done at all. It's pathetic, and every single entrepreneur, I know this, definitely still goes through this kind of shit, and they don't want to really be open about that kind of stuff because that just makes you look like you're just like the rest, right? You know, just doing that shit that everyone else does, you know, rutting, playing video games, everything else is fuck all. And I'm still just a regular guy. I'm still such a fucking regular guy. Just trying to make this shit work, you know what I mean? Just trying to make this shit work. I want to fucking down this. Going for it, you know, trying to make it happen, trying to make everything happen. But I think for pretty much every single fucking entrepreneur, creator, whatever, this is always the hardest part. And like, I gotta kind of self-reflect on the fact that you know, it's not like I don't have any clients, like I do, but you know, it was honestly just recently that I really fucking like it. I just like woke up to the fact that like, bro, like I'm not satisfied with this at all. On the fitness offer, on the lead gen agency, I could be setting calls and I could be getting those deals closed, you know, those calls that I book closed by the closers. I could get those closed like week by week by week, but I still wouldn't be satisfied, not at all, because that's not what I'm out here for. And yeah, it's honestly a crazy thought, because I mean, maybe I'm not grateful in the very beginning, right? It was about outreach just to get the first client, and I've got 2 clients at the moment, but I just don't feel satisfied in the slightest. Fitness offer that I'm on just isn't the most sophisticated. The lead gen agency, it's pretty much impossible to be, even though it's not, in all honesty. Yeah, this is kind of me bullshitting, to be honest, because I don't know what it is with me, but I've been slacking on the cold calling and setting for that lead gen agency because I don't know, I myself just wasn't seeing the results, and yeah, I just got hella demotivated by that. Even though, in all honesty, right, you've got actually the owners of that lead gen agency outreaching and actually producing some pretty good results, and I just wasn't. And the reason why that really demotivated me was because before I was actually doing pretty well. But now all of a sudden it's just kind of gone all to shit. So I haven't like cold called in like 2 weeks about. Like almost a whole 2 weeks. But on the fitness software, it's so much more easier to set because it's just in the DMs, and it's not like I don't like cold calling. I mean, no, yeah, it's not my favorite. But the thing is, if I would see at least somewhat still solid results like last week, this week I don't bother at all, like last week, then like I would have kept on going, but I just wasn't seeing it. So, and the reason why that demotivated me so much was because before, of course, I was setting like pretty well. But yeah, boys, it's trendy. One of the fitness offers, I mean, I think I already mentioned this to be honest, but one of the offers, you know, just for the fitness offer, right? I set an appointment for that, and that got closed yesterday. Super dodgy with the whole payment, like got payment fully. It was like such a small cut of the whole 2K that's meant to be, and apparently the closer, which is actually the fitness creator, he didn't even do a payment plan, just took a proper small cut. And yeah, I don't know how long this video is now because I've got my phone flipped over. Keep on tweaking, I feel like I see someone, but it's not someone. And it's like we came a bit of a way, but you know what I realized? What I realized is these testimonials, boys, they actually don't help you that much in terms of outreach. And that was kind of the main thing, right? This is what I was like talking about so much before, like from the beginning. It's like, okay, I'm gonna close one client, even if it's gonna be a small client, I'm just gonna close them. I know I can produce good results. And then with those results, I would definitely be able to get a good client for operating. But that's just not how it's gone, you know. I did get a case study, but at the end of the day, people don't actually care too much about your case studies. When you're on the sales call, maybe they do. You know, they want to see that you've kind of done some shit. But when you're outreaching, people only care about what you really got just for them. Not that you helped another fucking guy set a couple of appointments and close some deals in a week of launch or something like that. They don't give a shit about that, and that's kind of just the reality that I came to. And in a way, it's just like, it's going back to the beginning. Why? Because, like, you know, somewhat of a slightly long-term goal from the beginning was always to get that, you know, at least 10k profit operating client, and the smaller clients, smaller service jobs were meant to be there to help with that, and they do. I think they do in the sales calls from the ones that I've been on, like definitely should help a bit for credibility, but it's the outreach that matters the most, and trying to leverage those kind of case studies in your outreach honestly doesn't help all that fucking much at all. So yeah, that's why in terms of actually finding an operating line, it's still trenchy. I was thinking it wasn't gonna be trenchy, but it is. But in all honesty, actual outreach right now isn't actually that trenchy at all, if I'm actually going to be honest. But for some reason, I'm still not like really pumping up the volume. And that's because actually, boys, like if we're looking at the data, analyzing my outreach results currently and the metrics, like I'm actually, you know, like not most, but like around 50, 60, 70% of my outreaches get replies saying yes, I want the loom. And that's because I just like fucking engage with their shit constantly, and I comment on their posts and whatnot, saying I've sent them a DM, and they do look at it eventually. And that's kind of what I've been holding back on volume, because low-key, like, you know, I had to send out a loom yesterday, I have to send out another loom today. If I were to really pump up the volume, like, it would be hard to keep up with sending out looms. Even though it really shouldn't be, but it would be. Because I try to make pretty much every single loom like pretty fucking perfect, so I re-record, and even though it's like a 5-minute video, it takes me like at least half an hour normally to actually get the video that I would like and sending off that one, so yeah. But I should probably head back soon. Got dinner waiting for me, pretty sure by now. And just keep on grinding. I think just for today, get back home, eat, head off to David Lloyd's, get this loom, get the Miro done first, need to get the Miro done, and then film the loom, send that off, and just do a bit more outreach for today, keep it simple, and just make sure that we're fucking locked in for the weekend. Yeah. 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. And in the end, I didn't do the shit that I said I would even do when I would get back from that refresh kind of walk. Why though? So I got back home and I didn't have too much time to head off to David Lloyd's to get that loom recorded. And the one thing it did make me realise though is definitely should be finding some time to allocate to spending time with family, because when we were having dinner, so low-key the first time in a fucking while that I had a full conversation with my mum and her boyfriend, and it was good. Relationships are super important, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna want to say, like, that you need to put everything off to the side to become successful. And I agree to that, but to a certain extent. And I think it's always good to just like every now and then have a good chat. And yeah, I mean, I had a good chat that lasted about like 2 hours with them. But of course, by the time that, you know, ended, gym is closed. So I can't go there to record that loom. So boys, I am going to be ending off the video today. And in terms of business, of course, bro, it's like a fucking 1 out of 10. The only actual business I got done today, the actual needle mover, which isn't even the biggest needle mover, was just doing a bit of appointment setting in the morning. You know, in school. But apart from that, you know, I got back from school, I fucking gooned off, playing just like, you know, Wild Rift for a whole fucking while. And then I went out, you know, to hit a refresh. I was gonna get back home to get straight to work. But when I got back home, of course, I had dinner to eat. And then I kind of got into a conversation, and it was actually like, I realized like while I was in that conversation that like, shit, like this is like something I should be taking my time on too, and not go like, okay, no, sorry guys, I can't talk to you guys because I gotta go to film that loom and send it today. Like, yes, I said I would send the loom today, but in reality it doesn't fucking matter if I just send it tomorrow and say that I was very busy today and forgot about it today. It's not that deep at all. That's the most like realist schedule I had to send that loom off today, because I said I was gonna send it today. But it's literally not that deep at the end of the day. Of course we fucking get back into it. Yeah, I mean, shit days just happen, of course. No point of just screwing myself over it. But yeah, I'm gonna end off the video here, boys. Yes, I said I was going to lock it the fuck in when I was gonna get back home. But, you know, it's important to find some time to have some conversations with your family and still maintain relationships. So that's kind of what I did. So yeah. At the end of the day, grand scheme of things, that's not the biggest of deals. But this is the kind of shit that people don't want to show you. All these entrepreneurs online that are recording all this content, they don't want to show you the like bad days, bro. They don't want to show you those bad habits because they don't want to be perceived that kind of way. But proper shit day today, boys. Barely any business work actually done. Of course, we're not gonna let this happen again in like a good couple of weeks. Like, this was like actual shit day, just like fully off it. But yeah, of course, gotta include it, because posting fails isn't even that deep anymore. People post fails, and posting fails shows authenticity. But how many people want to show you those times where you just fucking like are completely off it, fully out of the zone? I don't think many people want to show that, because that's like going against the identity of being like an entrepreneur or whatever. But boys, like, I'm a fucking regular human being too, man. Like, it's fucking Friday. Just didn't feel like anything, and I just didn't do anything. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you boys I'm like some kind of fucking super disciplined guy. I'm not. I think that's super rare to come across, in all honesty. But yeah, I'm gonna finish off the video here, boys. I mean, just a shit day, of course. But that's fine. We get back to it. And that self-reflection that is going to carry on to the next days, boys. Like everything I was talking about while I was on that bench outside in the dark, just self-reflecting isn't like going all into the trash just because I didn't act on what I was gonna say I was gonna do after I get back home from that kind of, you know, walk outside. I'm gonna carry that into the next days, of course, bro. Like a day like this is like what kind of pushes me to be fair for the next days. So yeah, gonna quit yapping. I gotta still post this today, boys, and yeah, you know, I don't worry too much because I know I'm gonna make this shit happen, man. There's gonna be ups, there's gonna be downs, there's gonna be shit days, there's gonna be great days. But either fucking way, we're gonna make this shit happen, man. Y'all just gotta stay tuned.